This is the Valley Today.
Good morning, everybody. As we know, we're in for another round. Rough roads and canceled flights. This next round of winter weather making for a bad day of travel in the valley and across the Midwest entirely. North Dakota and Minnesota highways covered with ice and snow.
Yeah, you know what? If you go out there are no travel advisories in place for the western part of the state. And we are now only in the middle of this system. Meteorologist Lisa Green is in with us right away this morning, letting us know what we can expect. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. Yes, our snow from yesterday and overnight last night, that is starting to transition over to now wind being the threat. So we're talking about blowing snow today, tomorrow on our first alert weather days. And we've got conditions that are tough across the valley right now, and it may get worse as we go through time. So here's a look at some of our winter weather alerts. This is not including our wind chill alerts yet. We've got that blizzard warning. It includes Lemoore and Dickey County and our counties in South Dakota, much of South Dakota under this blizzard warning, and then back over into Minnesota, including Traverse County and Minnesota in our viewing area under that blizzard warning. Winter storm warning remains in effect for Minneapolis, St. Paul up toward Duluth. And then in those dark blue colors, kind of hugging the valley here, we're talking about winter weather advisories, including Foster and Stutsman County. So those are the headlines for the snow and blowing snow right now. We also have the intense cold wind chill warning for eastern parts of North Dakota stretching west. If you're right along the Red River and east, under more of a wind chill advisory here. That's where we're all dealing with some dangerous wind chills, but not necessarily experiencing the intensity that we have going on in the west. We'll take a look at that in a moment, but here's a look at the latest radar and satellite picture. You can see the snow moving on. We still have a few flakes out there, but the accumulating snow moving on after picking up a couple of inches in places like Fargo and Grand Forks. And so that's moving to the east, and you can see this blast of Arctic air continues to push south and eastward across the country, stretching from now Kansas back up into the Great Lakes. Minneapolis at the airport there, the snow is winding down, but if you're heading into the Chicago area, O'Hare is going to have some big impacts today from the snow moving in to that area. And of course, traveling on the road, you're going to be running into this. So not just that, but if you find yourself with some car trouble, you're in dangerous conditions. The environment itself is cold and life-threatening with wind chills that are as low as 50 below at times in some places in south and western parts of our viewing area. Earlier this morning, Oaks got down to 50 below. We're only 2 off of that for our wind chill right now at 48 below. It feels like 47 below zero in Valley City and Gwinner, and our wind chills again mainly in the 30s along the Red River and east. So it's tough everywhere. We've got that wind steady in the teens, or sustained winds into the teens with some gusts into some 20s in Detroit Lakes, back over to Oaks. We have had some gusts into the 30s in Sisseton already this morning, and this just worsens as the day goes on. Right now we're looking at conditions along University in South Fargo. There's the crews I've been following along on our Skycam here this morning, working to get some of that fresh snow cleared off the roadway. And it's a tough work here because it's cold. We're looking at temperatures below zero, in the teens below. A few flakes still out there across the valley. Fargo at 14 below zero. And I'll look at our planner for today, staying cold. 10 below, our high coming up for later on. We'll have partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. And it's this wind again that's going to be our biggest problem as we head into the day today. We can watch those winds picking up here in our hour-by-hour planner into the 30-mile-per-hour range or so as we head into midday and beyond. So we're going to get into the full details of your forecast for today and the wind and how it will impact you in the coming days, coming up here in just a couple of minutes.
A lot to go over, Lisa. Thank you. And we'll get back to that storm coverage in just a minute. But first, we want to let you know the latest on a missing Fargo girl. Police say 6-year-old Eliana Bell was found safe just before midnight after being reported missing earlier in the day.
She was believed to have been with her mother, but no other details are being released at this time. A North Dakota woman now missing in Arizona, and police say they believe it's under suspicious circumstances.
46-year-old Pammy Jo Garden was in Yuma, but hasn't been seen for a week. Police say she drives a silver Toyota RAV4 with North Dakota plates that read "Punch It." Back to our weather. Canceled and delayed flights are adding up in the valley. 6 morning flights out of Fargo already canceled or delayed, and travelers are being warned that it will likely continue into the day.
In Grand Forks, 2 flights canceled so far, and it's a lot of headaches for a lot of people, and unfortunately, it's far from over.
Valley News Team's Kellen Harmon caught up with some travelers and has our story.
It only takes one look out a window to remember that we're still in the middle of a winter storm. The effects from the winter storms are being felt across the country with delays from roads to the air.
A lot of coats and a lot of winter wear being shuffled along the airplanes.
Eventually we got in the flight 2 hours late, and then it was flying through a whiteout the whole way here. Really? Yeah. Didn't see anything but snow the whole way.
I would love to see my son. I haven't seen him in a while. If I don't get a chance to see him now, I probably won't see him maybe till the fall. So it would be, a little sad, but I understand it.
And some are excited to be in these elements.
Yeah, I take traction control off when I come to the Midwest. I enjoy sliding around.
But the determination of these travelers reiterates the main goal of the holidays: being together with loved ones.
Hope everybody gets home safely and can spend time with their family for the holidays.
When I come home to Minnesota or Fargo, it's definitely Christmas starts.
In Fargo, Kellen Harmon, Valley News Live.
With the changes expected to last through the holiday weekend, you are encouraged to keep in touch with your airline for the latest information. And for the latest on those road conditions, we want to head on over to Ashlyn Hill at our Interactive Center. Morning, Ashlyn.
Good morning. Yeah, unfortunately, we know it's been a tough few weeks of travel across our region and now nationally as we take a big look at our big winter storm photo. And right now we're going to jump on over to the Minnesota Department of Transportation for a closer look at your roads and what you're dealing with this morning. So I'll start with the good news. I am seeing a lot of green, which just means seasonal conditions for your roads. So no major hazards if you're heading out around the area of Fergus Falls up to Detroit Lakes, even as you kind of snake your way up to Thief River Falls as we head more north and even east across the state. That's when we're running into the scattered snow, the scattered ice. We know a lot of that has been packed underneath because of all of our travel and our plows kind of making their way across the region. So we're seeing some incidents pop up all across the eastern portion of our state. I do want to focus on this one just north of Detroit Lakes. It's where a vehicle had spun out earlier today, which doesn't seem to like to be clicked on today. So I'll click on this one instead just to give you guys an example of what we are seeing across Minnesota. So this is a crash on US 71, and I do want to take a look at this vehicle spin out. So this is on US 59. It is still up on our map, so be mindful of that if you are traveling between County Road 153 and County Road 155. I'm sure there's still going to be some hazards on that roadway. Jumping over to the entire state of North Dakota, we have been seeing a similar picture to this throughout the past couple of weeks, but the entire state under some type of travel advisory. If you're seeing purple hues in any of your regions, that just means blowing snow, and hazardous roadways. But this red, that's what you really want to pay attention to. No travel advised in any of these red counties. The cutoff looks to be at Stutsman County here in North Dakota. But this checkered red candy cane-like roadway, no travel advised, unfortunately. We know we've got a big holiday weekend coming up, which means more and more folks will be wanting to get out. So please just be careful and stay safe. We'll continue to update you with some real-time looks at our travel across our region. Jordan?
Yeah, a lot to go over, Ashlyn. Thank you. Still to come here on the Valley today. Thunderous applause as Ukraine's president walks into a joint session of the U.S. Congress to thank Americans for their support in the war against Russia. But in just 2 minutes, we'll be checking back in with Lisa Green as she has a check of our weather for what we're up against this morning and into the holiday weekend.